So, welcome to the next installment of Call from the Deep. Did anybody want to do the recap this week for the free 20? All right.
I can try to.
Yeah. So, last week, and actually, this is wrong.
Um,
Stream. Jimmy,
Yes.
what screen are you seeing in Twitch?
Um,
'Cause I am
it's like
seeing-
a map with a cove,
Okay.
and-
So
maybe a bay, dark
I
bay
am
or something.
somehow seeing our last Odyssey of the Dragonborn session.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that is very weird. Okay, here we go. All right, so last week it began, as you know, the ship had struck some type of object as it was sailing along, something that was softer and squishier than an island or a reef like you had struck before. And suddenly these giant tentacles come bursting out of the water and grasping for members of the crew and yourselves. And Capisa was pulled overboard and vanished somewhere beneath the ship. You fought against the whatever this creature was with these giant tentacles. You're assuming some type of squid or octopus type creature. And after lopping off several of its tentacles, it fled and left the ship alone, but apparently taking Capissa with it. The captain had no choice but to get the ship back underway, and you began to sail. You were about a day out of Gunderland when the ship encountered terrible storms, and during the storm, several Sahuagin made their way up onto the ship and attacked, and you guys were forced to defeat them. After you managed to dispatch all of the invaders, you noticed that off to one side of the ship was a small boat. Looked like a rowboat or a lifeboat from a ship, and looked like there was someone in it, a small humanoid being. Botan went into the water to go check this out more, and he saw that the boat was attached to two reef sharks and that they were being watched over by a couple of Sahuagin. He came back to the ship, but unfortunately was seen, and the two Sahuagin attacked, and you guys retaliated and were able to injure one of them greatly, the other one not so much. By that time, they had the sharks drag the small boat further out from the ship, so you weren't able to just launch a ballista with a grappling hook or something on it to drag the boat back in. And you decided that, along with the captain, that as much as you would have liked to save whoever was in the boat, it just wasn't going to be possible. So you let that go and you continued on your way. And that is where we left off. So it is now somewhere around about the 12th day of what should have been an 8-day trip, and the harbor at Gundbarg comes into view. You have finally reached the island of Gunderland, and emerging from the salty mist that hangs over the ocean is the island nation of Gunderland. Piercing the sea spray on the Eastern Peninsula is a crumbling fortress which overlooks Gundbarg, the island's only port. As the wind catches in the sail, the voyage begins to pull in toward the islands. Don't worry, the reassuring of Captain Graysail calls out to you over the crashing wave. The folk here are only half as violent as the ocean that surrounds them. After a few attempts, the crew finally begins to pull into the harbor. As you pull on the oars, you get a chance to take in your surroundings. The harbor is surrounded by high stone walls which protect around a dozen longships. Each boat is of expert construction and is in pristine condition. At the prow of each is carved an animal head, often a seabird or Arctic creature roaring with anger. The captain gestures to you all to board the rowboats to begin rowing into shore. As you reach the dock, you're greeted by a dozen or so servants of the king who wear brightly colored robes over their armor. A young woman with fair hair and red robes steps forth and says, "Welcome to Gundaberg. King Redax has been eagerly waiting your arrival. You must be tired and hungry from your journey. We have booked you all rooms at the Dragon Turtle Inn. Tomorrow, after you are rested, King Redax would meet with you at Stonerise Keep."
Sounds good to me.
Yep, so you find yourself at the dock of Gundaberg. The captain says, "I am going to head to the inn and try to get a hot bath and a even hotter meal. If you would like to join me, or you may explore the town as you wish." And she begins marching off toward the Dragon Turtle Inn.
Well, if they're only half as violent as the seas, I do not say this to people that actually live there, obviously. Then I would suggest that perhaps we stay together, because I don't know that it's going to be great if we get separated.
Yeah, those seas were pretty violent. So
Yeah,
even
half as
violent
violent
as that.
doesn't. Yeah, half as violent doesn't sound that much better.
So
Then again, I'm also broke, so
So
Who
where
wants to
are
get
you
a
going?
drink? Oh wait, no, it's doesn't seem a lot in this town except for the tavern and the storehouse.
I mean, I feel good about going and getting a hot meal. Hopefully, with the king's compliments at the tavern, at the inn.
Hot meal would be good. At least the ship won't be rolling back and forth while you're trying to eat it.
Yeah.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, so Braun, as you're walking along the dock, as you guys are deciding what you're going to do, you notice all of the locals are giving you a very strange look. And you realize that they're kind of giggling and snickering at the makeshift flotation devices that you have draped about yourself.
Yes. I'm just gonna kind of puff out my chest, like this is the newest and greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, come on. I'm just gonna try to
Make
kinda
a
like
perception.
Emperor
Make
Hampton.
actually a persuasion check. All right. Yeah, you see a couple of them, kind of almost give a nod, and they kind of talk amongst themselves, and pretty soon the crowd all disperses and leaves you to your own devices.
Well, if things don't go well with this gig, maybe we can go into business selling some of those.
I'm gonna have to talk to someone around here to see if we can't use this design and make some.
When we go to see the king, remind me to ask about the patent office.
All right.
So we all head to the Dragon Turtle Inn then?
I think that makes sense.
I am.
Let's go there then.
All right. The Dragon Turtle Inn is a salt-encrusted stone edifice near the docks. Although not outwardly inviting, the inn is well known amongst travelers as the best place to get a good ale on the island. Inside, a huge fire roars in a semicircular hearth, decorated with ivory and steel. The circular bar in the middle of the inn is manned by a pair of lanky, fair-haired twins, whose bushy beards sweep the counter as they dispatch drinks to the locals.
All right.
There are half a dozen locals scattered about the inn, and about the same number of traders and visitors from elsewhere.
I'm going to find a nice big table and sit down and see how things go for the moment.
All right. You've just barely taken your place when one of the barkeeps calls out, "What can we get you?"
I guess meat and ale?
His brother says, "Coming right up," and
Fantastic.
shuffles back into the kitchen, and a few moments later comes out with a big bowl with some type of meat stew and some ale.
Thanks. That's very prompt service.
I'd also like to order a meal.
All right. Yep. Once again, just goes into the back a few minutes later, emerges with your order.
What's this cost? What's this costing us?
Nothing. Yep.
Oh,
This is
sweet.
all on the king.
Fantastic. When he gets back, I'm going to order seconds, and I'm going to tell everybody to sit down, and we're going to eat.
All right.
Well, as I walk in, the first thing Rohan's going to do is walk over and slap a hand on the bar, say, 2 L's. You're looking at a mighty thirsty dwarf. And then I'll have what everyone's having over there at the table.
They will immediately pour 2 L's, 2 ales for you. And the one brother goes back once again to retrieve your meal. And the
Before
other
eating the other, I've already downed one of the L's.
Yeah. The other one fills the empty mug as soon as you set it down and go to pick up the other one. He just immediately refills it. He looks at your flotation devices. What are those for?
Well, we elves, we're not very good swimmers, and these help keep me afloat. They actually kind of saved my life, so I'm gonna be wearing these anytime I go out on the water. They
You don't say.
keep you from sinking. We call them water wings.
Water.
Yeah.
We're thinking about selling them for like 20 gold a piece. No.
But we can give you a really good deal, custom made.
Just for you.
From across the room. I'm sitting down with my stuff in my face, so.
Yep. So you're all sitting and eating and drinking, listening to the banter going off around in the inn. And close to sunset, a young boy, probably mid-teens, bursts in and says, You have to come see this. There's a blue-skinned man that just rode in on a boat into the harbor with Bursa Rhymeweave, and he's got sharks pulling his boat. And everybody starts piling out of the inn to go see exactly what this strange sight is.
So who had sharks? No.
I down the 2 L's before I leave the inn.
Of like chase after them.
Yeah, Baxian jumps up and follows along.
Yeah, so you guys are there as Capissa pulls up to the dock in the small boat that you saw. It is pulled by the 2 reef sharks.
The
can't
second Capissa lays eyes on his fellow crew, he'll just go, "Oh! Where the hell were they?"
How the hell did you survive against that sea monster? How are you alive, man?
Spoke to it.
Oh, how's it doing? Is everything going all right with it? No, I'm.
Shakes his head no. Spent the last few hours trying to tail the ship. Lost in a storm.
Damn.
Found a girl.
Yeah, you notice that the person in the boat with him is a young girl. Also lying in the boat is some type of blue shark idol with strange runes all covering it.
He nearly got killed and comes back with even more swag. I'm not sure how this works. But I'm impressed.
If you solo the giant octopus, you get the swag.
Come back with white hair,
Hey,
Um,
Capissa, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. Good to see thee as well. I have some treasures here. Some
Treasures?
require a delicate hand. Touch with care, lest he become cursed.
Well, thank you for warning us now.
Hmm.
Anything seem particularly scary in the pile? I will
The only
attempt to
thing he
identify
left
it.
was I thought the only thing you didn't take was that shark idol. So the only thing you see is this blue coral shark idol lying in the bottom of the boat. It's probably like football size.
Capissa will go. I will share my spoils when we are resting and able. For now, we have a more important task. And he looks over to the little girl. You say,
Who is this?
Who's that?
"This, my dear compatriots, 'tis Bursa Rhymeweave."
Yep. Yeah, several of the locals have kind of pulled her to the side and she's talking to them. It looks like she is actually known by the people of the village.
Taken by a pair of vile Sahagwin, I slayed them in battle upon a coral shore and took their boat, commandeering their sharks, and returneth here triumphant.
That's amazing.
I'm impressed. We had an
Shrugs.
irrational amount of trouble
Oh.
with some of them.
It was a day.
We softened
Softened
him up.
very.
Wait, you encountered these creatures before?
They were on the boat. Sorry.
Yeah, we dealt with a bunch of them, and a couple of them were, I believe, took this boat because they had a couple of sharks, and so we tried to stop them, but we did not have your capabilities. So the most we could do is apparently soften them up for you. So this worked out pretty well. Good job, teamwork.
Well, great for two.
Several of the townsfolk come over and shake your hand and thank you for saving Bursa. One of the ladies kind of fusses over her and says, "You poor dear, come on, you can stay in our home tonight, and perhaps these kind folk will be able to take you home after they visit with the king." And they kind of shuffle her off and to one of the houses.
I guess we'll hold up a finger and just go, oh, one moment, if I may speak to Bursa.
They'll pause.
He'll kneel down and go, I, Capissa Claretiruseth, am glad thou art safe. And for the road ahead, whatever it may be, he will procure 5 gold pieces and give them to the child.
Her eyes go big and wide and kind of fill with tears, and she kind of sobs out, "Thank you."
There's no comfort for lost patronage, but may you rest easy until your parents are found.
All the townsfolk are nodding approvingly, and it looks like your standing amongst them has gone up quite a bit.
That was very good of you. Now, come to the inn. There's a good
Of
meal
course,
there
of course.
waiting for you.
I'm hungry.
They have meat and ale.
Do they have
So-
kelp?
So you all make your way back to the inn. And the food and the ale continue to flow throughout the evening.
Nice. Okay, well,
It's
At
at
some-
this point.
at some point, I am going to start a new carving project. It'll be kind of rough at this point, but I've got a pretty good idea.
All right.
As the group is partaking in tales about, like, what the fuck happened? Oh, I did this and that. Capissa will recount quite plainly. Basically, he came across a pair of Sahagwin, he slew them, he found a girl with a boat, all this shit, and at this point he starts laying it out on the table for them all. And I'll type it out, but basically, there is a potion of healing, some fancy coral bits worth about 50 gold pieces. What is it? A shrimp shell conch? Was that it?
So there was a scrimshawed conch shell horn.
Aha.
Worth 10 gold pieces. And 24 gold in assorted coins.
Yeah.
And the potion.
And Capissa will go. Now, I normally do not ask for first bits, especially since it would appear that you dealt quite well with the ensuing Kraken child of the sea. However, I am rather smitten with this conch, if you would permit me to have it.
Works for me.
I don't see why not.
It's your booty.
That's fine.
The rest he puts out for the group, like, dig in.
Does that conch shell, does it make a sound when you blow on it?
Yes, it is the equivalent of a war horn.
The whole time Kapasa is telling us the story and showing us the stuff, Baxian is just sitting there staring at him the whole time, just like something's on his mind. And after he gets done and puts the stuff on the table, Baxian looks at him and goes, "Kapasa, I've got some bad news."
Get this eye. What news?
The guy that owed us money for the drinking contest, he's dead.
Oh,
I'm not going to be able to pay you back right now.
undepressing. But fear not. In tragedy, I will ask for no coin in return. Consider the loan repaid in this venture.
Well, thank you.
I would probably want to see if the staff at the inn have any idea if there's any kind of magic shop or what have you in town. Otherwise, I don't really have any need for.
So let's say why. If you go see Granny Saltwood at the Saltwood storehouse, she might have some magical tidbits or other, but who can say? Anybody else want to do anything? Or have anything they want to ask of your patrons?
Where will we be going in the morning, you think? Or not the morning right now, I guess.
Sorry, did you say something about a magic shop? Because I definitely did not hear it.
Oh, yeah, they said it may be that Granny Saltwood has something, some magical tidbits. There's no magical shop per se, but sometimes she mixes up potions and cures for the locals.
All right. I mean, I would recommend that we take a look at that, and I might request a few gold pieces just so that I can buy food and whatnot in the future. But it sounds like this kind of magic shop is probably going to benefit others a little bit more than it'll benefit me. So, and is that shark statue anything special? Is it magical or anything as far as I can tell?
What statue?
The
shark. About nobody took that out of the boat.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't take it on my person, but definitely took it out of the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, I was under the impression that somebody was bringing it with them.
Like he didn't want to touch it more than he had to because he's like, oh god, this is bad mojo. But he's not just going to leave it in the boat for some fisherman to go crazy with.
So sitting in the middle of our table, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. While we're eating and drinking and being merry, I'll take the time to ritual cast Identify on it.
Something right quick.
So this means that either it's going to turn out to literally just be a statue, or it's going to like suck out my soul in this process or something.
So you pick it up to do the ritual because it is a touch spell.
Yep. Yep.
So, and suddenly your mind is bombarded with the image of a muscular blue tentacle wrapping ever tighter around the idol and snapping the fins from it. Suddenly, you see your vision is filled with a monstrous octopus-like head with two glaring red eyes and a mouth surrounded by rubbery tentacles. And it says, "I see you." And suddenly the vision dissipates, leaving you feeling lightheaded. And I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez. Oh dear.
All right.
If I have the wherewithal when he says I see you, even if I'm like not entirely aware of the world around me, I probably just cuss under my breath.
All right. Give me a percentile roll.
Alrighty. Oops. That didn't work. Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, right click on the D10 and click percent.
Percent. Yep. There we go. As soon as I threw it, I was like,
9. Yeah, so you pick it up and this vision flashes in your mind and your mind recoils back into yourself away from this image and you are paralyzed for 7 minutes. You just fall over in your chair, just huddled in a fetal position, shaking on the floor.
Whoa.
I've got bacon like hanging out of my mouth right now.
Were we all aware of what he was doing, casting Identify on it, right?
I mean, I don't.
You can make an Arcana check to tell what he was beginning to cast.
Did you have too much to drink?
Guess I'll try that. I don't know how much it'll help anybody, but that's not what I was supposed to do.
Natural 20.
He
That was the
had
best
just
time to-
started casting Identify as a ritual.
I am pretty sure that we should not know what that is. It's a bad idea to know that thing.
This is the Dane Cook version of you're about to be struck by a vehicle, but all that you can really do is go, pretty sure that's what that is.
Vitan's gonna go hold Xanareth, make sure he doesn't, fall to the ground.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so yeah, he just twitches for about 7 minutes and his eyes finally begins to clear and he stops drooling out the side of his mouth.
You okay, man? I was worried.
I imagine I am aware that I something violent happened. I didn't like lose my memory or anything.
No,
right?
you have not lost your memory. You can still see very vividly that face in your mind.
All right, so I guess I'd probably be kind of groggy and like rubbing my eyes and be like, I don't know what the hell that was, but that is some really messed up stuff, and it totally saw me, and I don't know if it saw you people either, but that don't touch
Soros?
that.
What Soros?
Huh? Oh, I don't know what it was. It was big head and like tentacles around its mouth and like red eyes and whatever it was. I don't know if it was from this plane of existence. It was something. So either we need to do something with this thing, whatever it is. I don't know, but it's probably not a good idea if we just leave it here.
Can you describe it? What thou saw?
I mean, it was mostly just horrifying, tentacly creature that it was big, dreadful, literally terrifying. Like I'm probably not sleeping tonight. Yeah.
So it's more horrifying than the tentacly creature we saw out in the boat. I would think.
Yeah, because the tentacly creature on the boat, I wasn't too confident that it had any brains. This one, I'm not getting that same vibe. I think this thing knows what the hell's going on.
Did we just drop the idol somewhere, or should we like wrap it up in a bag?
Yeah, he dropped it right there back on the table. And it's
I say
still
we,
lying there.
Do
I
we have
say
a
we
cloth?
bag it.
I'm like pushing away from the table. Like I assume that I'm kind of a little bit trapped here, but I'm still like kind of pushing backwards away from the thing.
Can I go find a bucket or something and then use my eating utensils to sort of pry it into the bucket out the
Yeah,
way?
you guys are able to find it something to wrap it up or put it in, or a pot, a bucket, old blanket or something.
All right then.
Do you think we should question any of the local folk regarding the crash? What's been going on here?
I'd much prefer that than figuring out the rock. I mean the statue.
Or we could ask them about the statue.
Now that we have the statue before us, does anyone recognize or can decipher the symbols yonder here? I've seen them or things like them once, but they are a dark, terrible thing.
What language is it in?
None that you speak. You can give me an intelligence check to kind of try and decipher them. Yeah, you don't even recognize the writing. It is very strange. You do not either, Bron.
Can't make heads or tails of it.
I am a sage, so perhaps I could find someplace in this little town that would actually have that information. I kind of doubt it, but
Could thou?
I probably would offer to do that and insist that I do it tomorrow because I'm not dealing with that crap today.
We could make like a rubbing of some of the characters, right? Or they're like carved into it, right?
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, it's also a good idea not to touch it.
Oh, Xanareth, you are a sage.
Yes.
You can give me an intelligence check with advantage.
All right. Just straight intelligence.
Yep. No idea what this is. What writing this is.
I feel like I'm going to be like the dumbest wizard in the world right now.
You did just get mind zapped.
Yeah, by Cthulhu or something.
Try again in the morning after a good night's rest.
Yeah, right. No, I'm a little frazzled. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
And
Did you guys decide you were going to question some of the locals?
Yes.
Okay.
Can do that.
Yeah,
I will join along on that just to get away from the statue.
All right. So you spend some time talking to the locals, and what are you asking about specifically?
Rumors regarding the What was it we came to see? I've forgotten.
Something crashed.
Yeah, something crashed into the ocean, was it?
Right.
Yeah.
Fell from the heavens.
Well, we'll ask them about that, I guess. Have they heard any rumors?
Or if they know anybody who has seen it or anything.
Hmm.
Don't know what it was. It fell on the other side of the island, close to Bismarck.
Close to where, sorry?
Bismarck.
Bismarck.
Right.
Has anybody seen the actual crash site?
No, the king sent word to the mainland, presumably for you. That's what you're supposed to do.
And not one of the locals have decided to go have a look? Not even just to maybe try and make a few coin?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oof.
Nope, nobody's gone near it. Nobody wants anything to do with strange things like that.
Or if they went near it, they didn't come back.
They kind of give knowing glances when you say that.
Yeah.
You can give me an
I'm not
insight check.
Yeah, sure.
I have insight as a thing. Can I give him advantage?
Yes.
All right.
But with the 18, you realize that they really don't want to scare you guys off from going to investigate that. Otherwise, the king will force somebody from the island to go, and they'd much rather have foreigners do that. So they're not telling you guys everything, trying to avoid scaring you off.
Getting the feeling we're expendable.
That doesn't mean they can't speaketh.
So no one's gone to that thing. Has anything weird come out of or happened in town lately? Maybe coming from that direction.
Strange magical occurrences, perhaps.
One drunk old woman who's sitting there says, I saw a couple from Bismarck pass through a few days ago. They were clearly distressed. They had watery eyes, and they walked right out of the harbor into the land, hand in hand. They walked straight out into the harbor, right out into the water, hand in hand, and just disappeared beneath the waves.
Did they swim, or did they literally just keep walking into the water?
After they went beneath the water, I couldn't see anymore. I really don't know.
All right.
By chance, doth these two happen to have been aquatic dwellers, or were they surface kin like yourself?
They were Fisparkian folk. A
Well, that's
couple of
not
the
good.
others tell you, pay no attention to her. She's obviously drunk, and she's not quite right in her head, even in the best of times.
Gentlemen and ladies of the shore, I understand your need to keep us from knowing fear, but we are a gallant and noble sort. We will investigate this crash site. Please, do not hold things behind your tongue.
Give me a persuasion check.
Alrighty. Where's persuasion? Here we go. Hiya. 20.
Yeah, so after that, they get to talking, and yeah, so no one from Fiskbark has been seen since the crash. People who normally come to town and trade haven't returned.
Hmm.
That sounds pretty serious.
So nobody's returned from Bismarck?
Right, they have not seen anyone from Fiskmark since the crash.
That's a whole bunch of people.
Sounds like they could use some heroes over there.
Action
Or not.
pose.
And
Alright.
for a sense of
Now,
time, how long has it been since the crash?
So now, almost a month, maybe month and a half.
Oh boy.
Because it took you guys about 12 days to get out here.
Right. Well, something's in store for us.
To Kipasa, might I suggest we quickly go out if we can find the spot which the people walked into the ocean at. Just have a quick look around.
Kipissa will nod at that and just go, Crone, please, direct to where you last saw these two who walked yonder into the froth.
She'll get unsteadily to her feet and almost immediately begins to stumble over herself. She is very, very inebriated.
Oh dear.
But she'll waddle out with you guys to the dock and point to a place in the harbor. It was about there.
I shall go in, and if there's no light, if it's getting dark, I shall cast light on.
It
Sure,
is quite
something.
dark now. You guys have been in the inn for a while. It is full on night.
I use the light cantrip and make my shield shine,
Okay.
and go for a quick look, see if there's any tracks or.
Yeah, so you
Well,
guys
I mean,
trudge
in the
into
ocean.
the waves, and it very quickly drops off as you get away from the shore. About 20 feet out, it is probably 20, 30 feet deep. You do not, of course, now, it's been weeks, so there's no footprints or anything for you to see.
No bodies, like half covered or anything like that.
Nope.
I really hope it
Uh,
comes
if I
back
ch-
out of the water.
Say again.
I was just saying, just joking on the shore. I really hope you come back out of the water.
I'll go down further to see if there's anything like a cave on over like the lip.
No.
I'll leave then.
What about you, Button?
Once I've checked, I'll leave.
All right. Yeah, so you guys come walking back out of the ocean, and the woman is kind of looking at you guys in utter amazement. Two fully armored guys just right out into the water and then turn around and walk right back out as if it was nothing.
I'll relay to everyone that there's no obvious signs of like
Yeah.
two bodies there, so
No doubt return to whence they came.
So, with any luck, we're supposed to be seeing that girl tomorrow, maybe? Because, I mean, I'm
You're-
kind of curious whether or not she ended up putting herself out to sea, considering.
Bersa,
Yeah.
the young one I rescued.
No, I know. I was kind of wondering how she got out there. If maybe.
She told me she was captured by Sahagwin, and her parents were with her, then they weren't. And she had a nasty bruise on the back of her head. I can't imagine she
She did
remembers
it herself.
anything past that.
Fantastic. Sorry, my ears were ringing a little bit when you were telling that story.
So they came ashore and took her.
Capissa honestly shrugs and just goes, to be quite true, I did not think she would have been under any duress. I assumed she had merely been kidnapped. The Sahagwin rarely are the polite type when they take prisoners.
You certainly seem that way, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Unless anybody wants to do any more questioning, I'll head to bed.
Yeah, I think.
Heading back to the
Uh,
tavern or the inn to find
before
a
you
room.
lay down your head, perhaps people would like to say what of the treasure they are willing to part with?
Like I said, I would just want to take, maybe like 5 gold or something for now, since I'm completely broke. And then after that, I don't have any particular need of any of it unless I stumble across something worth buying, which I figure I can do in the morning.
I'll take like a single gold piece for like future food, but I'll
Who
do me.
took the potion of healing?
I figure that's going to be Vaten or Bax. So they got they have a tendency to get deep in there and get beat up a little.
I mean, I
Max
can.
Max is happy just taking 2 gold.
In his drunken state, Bren will take one of the fancy pieces of coral. He likes to look at it with the light shining off of it.
So how much gold does that leave left?
I mean, in total, people have taken 6, so that's 18 left over.
Oh, I'll take the other 18. No, I'm kidding. Oh.
I mean, if you want, like.
Go for it.
All right.
Since only one bit of the coral is being taken, I guess Capissa will take the rest.
I'll take just like 1 gold piece worth of gold just because it looks nice.
Okay.
All right. And so it's just, did Torg take the remainder of the gold, or?
I mean, unless you'd like to split it, which would be 9 for each person.
If you mean if we pool the whole pile, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
No, 9 for the 2 of us. Like, wait, how many people did you not take any gold?
I took 5 gold. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I took the remainder after that.
Yeah. No. Well, you hold on to that, and I'll come bother you if I need some money. Now I know who's got the money.
All right.
All right. With that, you all finally make your way up to your rooms. They have provided you each with individual rooms, so you have your privacy, and you all fall into a deep, restful sleep for the evening, and wake up to someone banging on your door.
Oh dear.
Is this like conclusion of a long rest, or before we get that?
Nope. You guys have gotten your long rest.
Awesome.
Stop that banging. My head's banging as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Graysail would like you to come downstairs. It is time to be up and about. The meeting with the king is in little more than an hour.
Slog myself out of bed, get
Can
into
we
my
wear
armor.
dress?
Rise and shine.
Yep. You make your way down to the common room of the inn, have a hearty breakfast with whatever you wish to drink. Captain Graysail is waiting for you all.
Morning, Captain.
Good morning. I trust you had a lovely evening.
I had a less than lovely evening, but I think everybody else had a pretty good night.
The beds are most comfortable here.
Very, very nice.
Anything any of you wish to do in the hour before you have to go and meet with the with King Olgrave?
I mean, I did want to check out the. I don't know. She sounded kind of more like a medicine woman of some kind. But I figure I might as well check it out to see.
Okay. So
If
while
there's
everyone else is eating, you decide to go over and check out the Saltwood Storehouse.
All right.
Yep. It's a tall wooden warehouse that rises up above the homes and shops around it, a few streets back from the harbor. Painted on the front of the building are the words Saltwood Storehouse. There is also a sign out front that says potions of water breathing available. Just ask. Inside, there are a handful of employees that hurry about the 4 floors, singing to traders who have come to stock up on rations and naval goods.
Right.
Inside the store, pretty much any mundane item you can think of, but nothing that's worth more than 100 gold.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I will actually inquire about the potions of breathing then.
So you go up, you ask a clerk, and he ushers you into a separate part of the store. They open a creaky driftwood door, revealing a cozy room warmed by a smoldering fire. Sat in a rocking chair by the fire, stirring a battered iron cauldron, is an ancient woman with greasy gray hair. Playing around her feet in the thick rag rugs that cover the floor are half a dozen creatures with the head and 4 paws of a cat and the lower body and tail of a fish. The room smells unpleasantly fishy and is too humid for comfort. She looks like a sweet old lady, except for this greasy, stringy hair that has lumps in it that look to you suspiciously like fish eyes. And you see a couple of bones that you take to be fish bones, and a few pieces of seaweed tangled in her hair. And she says, I hear that you would like to buy a potion from Granny Saltwood.
Yeah. How much are they? How much do they cost?
She says, I can prepare you one for 50 gold, and it takes a day to prepare, but unfortunately I am out of the ingredients which are required. If you were able to acquire those for me.
Would it still cost the full amount if I were to also get the ingredients for you?
Well, of course, I still have to make it, do I not?
I'm sure that's the case. I was just wondering because I imagine it probably would have been 50 gold
If
whether
you
or not I
wish
got
to
the
go and
ingredients.
procure the dead men's bootlaces and make it yourself, feel free.
No, that's quite outside my expertise. What exactly did you need?
A variety of seaweed called dead men's bootlaces.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better than stealing a dead man's bootlaces. So, all right, how much of that do you need?
A few handfuls.
right.
Gallows Grotto is a place to find it.
Alrighty. Well, then I will.
Any of the locals can tell you where to find that.
Fantastic. then I will. I'll take a look into that. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I guess I will report back my findings to
All
the
right.
folks at the inn and let them know. For those that are in need, apparently we can get these. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a short-term thing.
If you
And
need someone to go out into the sea and gather some seaweed, I'd be happy to do it.
Is it really something that would be that simple? I mean, I guess I could just ask you: is it something that would be that simple? Because I certainly don't know.
Well, you'd have to tell me what it looks like and where to go.
You
yes,
can give me
you
a
surface folks call the seaweed what?
Dead man shoelaces,
dead man's bootlaces.
bootlaces.
Capessa,
You can give me a
round
nature
back.
check. Anybody, the two of you who are aquatically inclined.
Nature, you say.
Yep. Yeah, neither of you have heard of this seaweed.
What a
Yeah.
dreadful name.
Yeah, it's probably one of us land dweller names or something. You probably just have a different name for it. But I can't imagine that it's something that you'd be able to just fish out of the water. Seeing as how she gave me a pretty specific place to go for it. Imagine it'd be kind of like a rare mushroom or something. You don't just find them around. You kind of have to find them in a particular spot. While we're in the inn, I'll take the chance to ask somebody, probably staff, where the grotto is.
So you ask Horthen, one of the twins who own the establishment, and he says, Gallows Grotto's a place to be avoided if you ask me. Man died there long ago, hanged by his neck from a rigging rope and a driftwood beam. There's many a tale about that place, but this one's true. Decades ago, when my parents were but children, a woman arrived in Gunbarg from across the sea. She was a true beauty of a girl, they say. Some claim she was the child of the ocean god. Anyway, the men of the village started getting restless at her presence. I, as a married folk, began to stray. Eventually, one man decided to try his luck with the lady. They spent the night drinking in the Dragon's Turtle Inn, then she led him away to where she was staying. He came back the next day with licentious tales of the night, and before noon the whole of Gundaberg knew. Unfortunately, the man was married. Folk didn't take well to a woman being with a man without wedlock, so they keel-hauled her. Next morning, the man was missing. Gallows Grotto's where they found him, still swinging he was.
Oh, geez. That sounds wonderful. I
What a
might
wonderful little
like.
town this is.
Yeah, right. I think I might be a little bit more attached to my breathing than going to find this seaweed.
I mean, being able to breathe in water would be very useful.
I like to
Well-
breathe air as well. That's the problem. I mean, maybe it's something worth checking into.
I mean, did they actually say where specifically it was?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe if it's on the way, it might be worth stopping in, but I'm not sure that.
It's an hour's walk along the coastline from Gunberg.
Well,
And we would be given more
In
specific.
which direction?
So again?
Yeah, if you continue to question about where it's at, they'll tell you, and it's just down the shore, an hour. It's along a rocky coastline, and the cavern is sunk into the side of one of the cliffs, so you would have to actually take a boat or swim to get there.
yeah, that doesn't sound like it's on our way. Regardless, I think we have to see the king before we decide to do something like that anyways. So
Yep, and with that, it is about that time. So Captain Graysail stands up, pulls her coat off the back of her chair and shrugs it on, puts her cap on her head, and says, "We best not be late," and begins walking up toward the Stonerise Keep. As you approach Stonerise Keep, up close you begin to realize that the fort has taken some serious damage over the years. Some wings are almost entirely collapsed, and the seaward wall has fallen away over the 100-foot cliffs. You're escorted through the ruins of an outer fortress before reaching the relatively undamaged central keep. A huge pair of iron-banded doors swing open before you, revealing an immense feast hall lit by flaming braziers. At the head of the hall is King Olgrave Redax, a man as weather-beaten as his castle. He rises from his throne, throwing out his arms out wide, and says, "Welcome to Stonerise Keep, the Warden of the Waves and Hestral home of House Redax."
Thank you, and I will say thank you in a very courteous way and bow.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
I
good
will
to
also
be
bow.
here.
yeah, going for that noble bow.
All right.
Yeah, Bill.
I appreciate the accommodations that you've set up for us.
Since you are doing our people a favor and investigating this wreckage, it is the least that I can do. King Redax is a middle-aged man with a single thick straw-like braid, topped with an iron crown decorated with mother-of-pearl and iridescent shells. He's broad-shouldered with sturdy legs and thick arms, and although his voice is gruff, he comes across to you as being very open and honest. He says, "I've been making pleas with the Lord's Alliance for almost 3 days to come and assist him. To come and assist us, but my supplication had fallen on deaf ears until Lord Neverember answered the call."
And boy, did he answer. Here we are. So, what can you tell us about this?
Well, this blasted object came frost falling from the sky. The wreck you're going to investigate isn't safe. Jarl Frostgel has told me that several villagers died when it crashed, and many more have gone missing since. Also, and I'm not sure I can believe this, but the rumors are that the ship came not from the sea, but from the sky. I don't know about any of that. Frostgale's a hothead, but he's not a fool. He wouldn't entertain such fantasies unless he believed them himself. I don't know what to make of it.
All right. Do you know how best to get there? It seems like we need to go talk to him to get more information.
Well, it's mountainous and rugged territory if you wish to cross the island by land. The best would be to take your ship.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea. How long would it take to get around by ship? I don't know that it matters that much because we kind of get there when we get there, but
So he reckons it would take you a day's journey by ship. 3 days if you travel overland.
Well, hey, if we go by ship, that'll leave us some time to stop in that grotto.
Yeah.
That could be useful to our cause.
I think that's a
Alright.
very good idea.
Anybody else got any questions or statements?
It was mentioned that the people of Gunbard were going missing.
Bismarck. Several of, according to their Jarl, several of their folk have gone missing.
Yeah, the couple of people that walked into the ocean were actually originally from Bismarck, I believe.
Correct.
I'm gonna take off my water wings and present them to the king and tell him, these are our flotation devices that might be helpful in training your young ones to swim.
We were actually looking at maybe getting it patented and trademarked. We were thinking of
You
calling them water
did
wings.
notice on your way up that a few of the locals had taken to piecing together something that looked very similar to your flotation device. But King Redax just sniffs and says, "What would we need those for? Toss them into the water, they'll swim."
Well, you see, if you fall off of a boat in a storm, they can help you keep above water or other unfortunate circumstances.
Well, I appreciate the gift, but
Hopefully it comes in handy for you. If something was to happen where you were knocked out and you were wearing them, at least you wouldn't drown.
And they're also very fashionable.
They're becoming quite popular
he
in
just
town.
doesn't look like he's trying to be very polite, but it's obvious that he is not at all interested in water wings, but he will take them if you continue to offer.
Okay, I will.
All right, just think about it. Don't worry.
Can I ask him whether he's got like a library of any sort? Here in the keep.
No, they do not have a library.
Fair enough.
Any
Any what? Hello?
I think he died.
Yeah.
Now we'll never know what he wants.
Yeah, we'll never know what that question was going to be.
Might
need to leave Discord and come back in because we can't hear you if you're talking. What did you say, Nick?
Kapissa will pipe up and go, "Surely then you have a wise man or trusted vizier who knoweth many a thing or two, if not a library."
Well, I don't know if some of the townsfolk do not trust her, but Granny Saltwood is wise in the ways of the world. But she's a strange old biddy, that one.
Looks over and gives a shrug of, "Hey, that's better than nothing."
Take what I can get.
With that, Captain Graysail will say, I'm going to remain and speak with the king about repairs to the ship. As you know, we suffered quite a bit of damage and through the storms and such. And they do have a ship repair warehouse here. So enjoy some rest in the town.
Oh.
And when we have taken on supplies and repairs have been completed, if you, however, you wish to take the overland journey, by all means.
Do you have any idea how long it'll take to repair the ship?
King Red Axe says, you'd have to talk to Bowsprit Gimlet for that to know that.
All right. All right. I feel pretty good about this. I appreciate your help and all of the information you shared with us. But I think I am satisfied here.
Yep. We can go see this Gimlet fellow now.
Yeah, see how long it's going to take for the ship to get fixed up.
Yep. So you all head to from the keep back through town, and sure enough, just before you get to the Dragon Turtle Inn is Gimlet's Ship Repairs. Inside, you are met by a curious-looking rock gnome, female, who is working on some type of strange sphere with a wrench. And as you enter, she kind of hacks a little bit and spits a huge glob of tobacco onto the floor.
Real salt of the earth type. Is the captain with us? Because
No,
like...
she stayed behind to talk to the king.
Oh shoot.
To work out, what paying for said repairs that are going to be done.
All right. Well, I guess I will approach Oda and ask about.
Yeah, she's muttering to herself as she's wrenching on this device.
I will try and approach politely and sort of, excuse me.
She kind of gives a start, and the sphere flies up in the air. And you can give me a dexterity saving throw.
I was about to say. I was going to try and catch it, but hopefully it doesn't hit me in the face.
Yep. So yeah, it starts to come down right on your head, and you reach up and you're able to grab it just before it slams into your skull.
All right.
And she says,
"Well,
what business do you have?"
Apparently I have the business of giving this back to you. Sorry about that.
She says, it's a piece of junk anyway. And she tosses it over into a corner in a pile of all kinds of other bits of scrap.
All right.
You have a boat that needs repairing.
Yeah, I believe the captain is sort of straightening out the financials of that. We were just kind of...
She spits another huge glob of tobacco on the ground at your feet.
Sorry, we just wanted to know how long you thought it would take.
Haven't been down to see it yet.
Do you know when you'll do that?
When the king asks me, or when your captain pays.
But how will you know how much to charge if you haven't been down to see it?
Have to pay me for an estimate. Not
Well,
just just
I
gonna
can't afford that,
walk
sure.
down and tell you what's wrong with your boat so you can go to somebody else and have them fix it.
How much does that normally cost?
30 gold.
I'm assuming
I-
that the captain will be paying for that.
I think we should just leave that for the captain.
I think
I would like to go to Saltwood Storehouse after here. Go talk to Granny Saltwood. I want to get like a picture or a sketch or something of this dead man's bootlaces, so I know what I'm looking for.
All right. So
She might have some
you,
there anyway, just to show me.
yeah, you head over to the Saltwood storehouse and are led back into the back room where Granny Saltwood is. She's still there, still wrapped up thickly in a huge layer of blankets, despite the fact that the room is stiflingly hot and humid, and still stirring her cauldron. And you get the same impression. You also notice the strange creatures at her feet.
Okay. I'll approach Granny and say, so it seems you need this dead man's bootlaces for a potion. Could you give me some sort of picture of it, or
Oh, certainly. And she will
Okay.
pull a. She pulls a jar down from one of her shelves and hands it to you. And there's just a few pieces of seaweed left in there.
I'll try and burn it into my brain. This is what it looks like.
And it does look brown and tough, just like what it says, somebody's leather bootlaces.
I'll say thank you, Granny, and I'll hand it back to her. I'll go meet up with the rest of the people, everybody else.
All right. So after Gimlet ship repairs, where did you guys all head?
I feel like we could go to the grotto, but we'd probably have to find a different ship to go there. Or were we going to try and help Bursa get home or something?
I have an idea for that.
Yeah.
So Bursa is from Fiskbart.
Okay, so she'll probably ride on the ship with us, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
But was the grotto wasn't that far away, was it? It was like an hour away by
Yeah.
foot?
Yes, an hour away walking down the shore.
Yeah, so it's
can we,
3 days
like-
to go all the way there, but we could just go an hour down.
You said it was hard to get to, though. It's sort of like the shore, like cut off at the mountains, or
Right.
so a boat might be necessary.
Hmm.
You could always hire just a small boat out to take out.
Whatever
Well-
happened to Capissa's little dinghy?
Yeah,
it
as
is
you
still
look at
there.
this, looking down at the docks, like, is the shark
Yeah.
led boat still there? Or the
The
sharks
ropes
still-
have been chewed through.
Were you going to release the sharks, or were you going to leave them tied up to the boat?
I mean, he just sort of walked away. It wasn't really his. So
Okay, so
I
you
don't
didn't
know
even
how
tie
tight
the
those
boat.
ropes might have been.
You didn't even tie the boat up.
Well, I mean, if he docked there, he would have, put it so that it wouldn't just like float away while he's trying to step off it. But like he brought it in. He met the crowd. He took everything off, but he didn't give two thoughts about like, oh, this is mine now. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is
All right. And he didn't give two thoughts to the sharks that were tied to this thing?
correct.
Okay.
Now you just have like a boat led by two sharks through the ocean.
Yeah, there are two
Look in the
quite
distance.
angry reef sharks still attached to the boat.
Before we take our ride onto the foam, I am in need of a dire peace offering.
Well, we could try and head back to the inn and get some more food on the king's dime.
I feel in food will not suffice. We need bloody carcass. Any fishermen? Any fresh catches?
Yeah, there are fishermen all up and down the docks. And they're gutting and scaling and cleaning fish. So you can get a bucket of guts.
For how much?
A couple coppers.
Okay. Hoisting as much of this shit as need be. He will head back over to the sharks with the group in tow and just go. Sharks can be rather irritable, similar to the Sahagwin, so let's hope this works. And with that, he just dumps the shit right in front of the sharks to feast upon.
Yeah, they instantly hit on it, and since it was just one bucket, it is gone in a matter of minutes.
I know it's been a long night, but, you know, it was a restful night. You had fed earlier. Would you duo prefer to lead my companions out to the sea once more?
Give me a persuasion check.
Not animal handling.
Sure, animal handling will work if you're
Okay.
proficient.
I'm proficient with both, although
Actually,
persuasion is-
yeah, actually be persuasion, because you are just talking to them and trying to talk them into doing something.
11.
Yeah, they are not interested.
Well,
They are
It
wanting
would-
more food.
this is why you don't ride with sharks. They're hungry, gluttonous.
And they're not particularly fond of just being tied up for very long periods of time to a boat.
Would anyone mind going to fetch more gruel to feed to these beasts?
Sure. I'll volunteer to go get some more fish.
All right. Yep. So after feeding them again, you can go ahead and make another persuasion check with advantage, because
Okay.
they're starting to get the idea this might be beneficial.
15.
You finally convince them grudgingly to take you where you want to go.
Okay. Verily, we depart, everyone in the rickety canoe.
How many of us can get in the boat?
6.
All right then.
Yep.
Problem
So
solved.
you guys all pile into the boat. It is a bit cramped with 6 people in there, but you can all fit. And you are pulled out by the sharks down the shore to where they indicated you would find the Gallows Grotto. And give me just a
Right.
second to put everybody on this map. I do not have a token for the boat, so you guys are just going to appear to be hanging out on the ocean waves for now. But you are in a boat. And did it not? There you go. And now it shared the map to you all.
It's taking its time.
Yeah, it's quite a large resolution map. Just everybody tell me when that's loaded. And in fact, this is a good place to take a quick 5-10 minute break. Grab something to drink, whatever you need to do. And
Right.
by the time everybody's back, the map should be loaded.
Oh, looks like it just loaded kind of for me, but I'm not sure that's right because
Yeah, loaded like half.
Yeah, I've got half as well.
I do have Fog of War turned on, so you should only be seeing part of the map.
Okay.
The rest should be black.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
It looks right.
All right. All right.
It's not black. It's just not colours at all.
Okay. Yeah. That should be the Fog of War.
Okie dokie.
All
Right.
right. And so
Are we still taking the break or?
Yep, quick 5 or 10 minutes. When everybody's
All right.
back, we'll start back up. Just gonna go grab a couple of sodas and
Yeah, I need a couple minutes. So
yep. All right, so you find yourselves outside looking at this cave that is inset into the cliffs beside the sea. The waves coming in and out of this cave are quite strong and violent, and even the sharks, they have trouble, especially with it pulling on the boat. They're not able to pull the boat any closer than about where you're at right now.
Maybe if me and Kapissa get out and help the sharks.
Could work. However, the sharks might be a bit gnawy.
Uh,
Sharks?
Um,
We're going to get out of the boat. Abate thy teeth, or else we shall not feed you again.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Actually, hold on one second. No, all right,
fuck.
that's good.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
It was already in roll.
All right, so you've asked them not to eat you.
It's a little shrug.
Do what?
Hopefully they receiveth the message. Shall we?
Okie dokie. We'll get into the ocean
Um,
and try and push the boat.
All right, I need athletics checks.
If.
Yeah, you guys start swimming with the boat. The sharks are pulling the boat, and you make it about 15 feet, but then the waves just grab hold of the boat and just forcefully drag you back out.
Do we have oars or anything in the boat?
No.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake.
Okay, can I quickly get onto the boat and then make 2 ice oars out of the water?
You can turn water
Like-
into ice, but you can't make objects.
Okay, so we get Xander.
So you can make like
chisel.
boards that are a rectangular piece of something that you can then try and use.
sorry, I'm doing what now?
No, I was kind of joking about he gets a big block of ice and then you try to like whittle it
Per-
into a
Yeah,
into
right.
an oar.
I mean, would that work?
I'm not. It's. We're talking like an actual whittling knife, so it might take a little while.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a stick at the moment, aren't we? I mean, does everybody want to try and swim there? Or
I mean, I'll take a stab at swimming. It probably ain't gonna go well, but somebody wants to save me if I, start to drown. Then
Fear not.
I can always
We are
make
the
a...
greatest at rescuing people who go over yonder and fail to rise to the waves challenge.
all right. I guess I'll give it a go then.
I'll help him along.
Okay, so
I'll
you
shepherd
guys,
anybody.
who all is swimming to the cave?
Baxino try also.
All right, everyone who is swimming needs to give me an athletics check.
I assume that's everyone who's swimming that doesn't have a swim speed, or
If you're you have a swim speed, you can have advantage.
oh, okay.
What map are we looking at? I had to close it.
There you go. I reshared it.
Thank you.
All right. So, Vatten and Kapissa, you're able to make it to the cave with no problem. You are not able to help your fellows. The waves are just too strong, and it's all you can do swimming against them to make it in. So for those who rolled, so Xanareth and Bax and Torg. Braun, did you stay on the boat?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So Xanareth and Torg and Bax, you guys are swimming and keep getting swept back out by the waves until Sir, you manage to catch a wave heading inward toward the cave. And unfortunately, it throws you forcefully into the cave, doing 7 points of damage to each of you.
Oh, crap.
But you do make it into the cave.
When you say each of us, you mean
Those that failed.
okay.
Yep. You two swimmers were able to navigate it well enough that and kind of like dive under the surf as it is rolling in and avoid being forcefully shoved. Braun, you're still out there in the ship.
Okay. Guess somebody's got to be out here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a little easier for the sharks now.
Can we throw a rope out to him?
bring
Give
a
me an
rope?
athletics check, because that's so 5, 10, 15, 20, 40. Yeah, you're throwing that, trying to get that 40 feet out.
That's like basically the limit of the rope, and
Yeah, it falls short.
Goodness. Goodness.
One of the swimmers could go back out and attach a rope to the boat.
Without a word, Kapissa starts stepping back into the surf.
All right, you can give me another athletics check with the advantage.
Don't fail me now. Yeah.
Yeah, you swim back out to the boat with the rope and tie it up, and the party's able to pull the boat in with the sharks swimming as hard as they can and you guys pulling the rope. You're finally able to get the boat into this cave.
Can we find a way to moor the boat, or?
Yeah, that's not a problem. The problem is the sharks cannot come into the cave.
I mean, a way to keep the boat from just drifting away, or the sharks swimming away with the boat.
Yeah, you can tie off the rope and have it just kind of floating there a few feet off the shore. And so now
this kinda
what
gives
you
me an
see
idea.
from where you're at any day now, I'm asking. There we go. So you manage to get into the cavern despite the slick rocks and the pounding waves. Sea spray fills the air here, but doesn't conceal the thick driftwood beam embedded above your head. Hanging from the beam is a mess of tangled ropes which seem to swing of their own accord.
Do I detect any ghosts?
So Vaten, you clamber up the rocks, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a ledge there. It's about 10-15 feet up. Did you climb up there?
No, I assume there's like steps here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the steps.
All right. So as you ascend the steps, suddenly a spectral creature takes form overhead in the ropes and floats down toward you
I'm guessing that's initiative.
and attempts to touch you. Yep.
Don't touch stuff.
Ooh, get away from me!
Yeah, do the little slappy
And
fight motion.
yeah, you're able to scramble back and get out of its way. And we'll go to Tord.
All right. We're able to see it, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this thing is a translucent figure. You can see the walls through it. And it looks like a man in wet, sodden clothing, his head bent at an awkward angle, and wet hair matted to his head.
Okay, I'll try using vicious mockery on him. Tell him that it looks like, I can't believe that his hair's wet because it looks like he hasn't taken a bath in years.
All right, go ahead and make your roll for that.
Yeah, I think that's he does a will save.
Right, so you have him targeted.
Yeah.
So on your character
Oh,
sheet, under actions,
Yeah.
where it says display and it says group, change that to actions.
Yeah. Okay, I think I can. So okay, that's how I messed up. Yeah.
Yep.
All
And then beside vicious mockery, hit
Yeah.
the attack button. Yep, and it'll automatically make the save. So he did not make the save. So apply the damage first, and then do the effect. There you go.
All right. I must have been looking at the wrong thing. I see what I was doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else?
And that should be all. So I've got to find the combat tracker, which is behind everything.
All right, Bax.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
All right, you're right up against this 15-foot cliff, and it's a ways back, so you don't actually have line of sight to it yet.
Oh, if I move out here, can I see it?
Not very well. It's going to have cover unless you
Okay.
actually get up on the ledge.
Okay. Then I'll move up here then.
All right. That's a hit. Don't forget to apply your sneak attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, never mind, because he isn't yet in. Well, yeah, he is, because he came down to touch him. So, yeah, go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage as well.
Okay. Oops. No. I'll just
Nope,
roll.
you're
a
going to
D6.
have to roll the d6, and I'll have to manually enter it, because you didn't
Yep.
do it before the damage.
Got it.
All right. Anything else?
As a bonus action, I'm going to hide.
There is nowhere to hide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is all open. There's some driftwood beams and stuff on the floor, but nothing large enough to actually hide behind.
Okay. Then you'll need to take that effect off my. And that'll be it for me.
All right. The specter will try to touch Votten again. And thanks to the disadvantage, he misses. And Capissa.
So, was moving up these steps like difficult terrain or anything like that?
No. You do get, they are very slippery, and you get the idea that if you tried to run across them, like doing a dash, that you would be in danger of falling and harming yourself. But as long as you just move normally, you don't think it'll be a problem.
So, guess we'll move up to there. And as he gets up, he will two-hand his trident, because he didn't think he'd be fighting so close to shore and doesn't have a shield out. And I need to, what was it again? Control?
Yep, control and click. And
that?
let me, you need to remove your fighting style since you're using it two-handed, because you can't do dueling.
Yeah.
There you go. So go ahead and make your two-handed attack. On your character sheet for the trident, you'll see beside it, there's a little symbol that looks like a hand. If you click on that, it'll switch it to two-handed.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's
Probably
a hit.
missed. Oh, all right. So, it's going to be dealing 10 points of damage, no doubt reduced in some fashion against this ghosty. And it is going to be marked with my unwavering mark.
Okay.
So, the only thing you need to worry about, DM, is that it is going to be...
So it has disadvantage.
Yeah, if it hits anyone other than me, and I get a special attack if it tries to do that. If I
Okay.
want to use it.
All right.
And then I just book the turn complete.
Zenareth.
All
You
right.
know they are battling something, but you can't see it from where you're at.
All right. Let me see. So, if I would not be able to go to the right and actually shoot a firebolt through them to hit it, right?
If you came to, say, right there, you can, but it has cover.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so, like, if I went over, say, here,
Yeah,
it would
there you
have
can
full-
target it just fine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it would have like cover from
No,
allies.
yeah, this isn't Pathfinder. There's no cover from allies.
Cool. All right. I didn't know if that was a. All right. In that case, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to throw a firebolt at it.
All right. That's a hit.
Fantastic. For 7 points of damage. All right. And that is going to be my turn.
All right.
Okay, from right
Braun.
here, I should be able to see the specter, at least see where it's at, right?
Yeah, you can see what they're fighting.
I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon as a bonus action.
All right.
Just to the west of the spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Or the Spectre, I mean.
All right, you can go ahead and make the attack with it. So you would target the Spectre. Yep, there you go. It
Now,
missed.
this- Okay, as I will cast Toll the Dead as my regular action. All right, he succeeded, so nothing else happened.
Anything else?
I'm trying to get my movement here.
All right.
What's this there? I think that would be 25 feet if you up the stairs and then back one.
Yep, that's about right.
All right, that'll be my.
All right, keep myself facing him. I'll circle around him.
All right.
From this perspective, from this side, would I be able to get the +2?
No, because you're not quite. You would have. Let's see. So he is actually. Let's get you guys actually in square.
Oh, sorry. Am I on like a half square or some such?
Yeah, it looks like those are there.
Okay. I'll put that there for my spiritual weapon.
There we go. Now everybody's on a square.
Okay.
So, what are you doing, Button?
So I'm casting magic weapon on myself
Okay.
as a bonus action. And that'll last an hour with concentration. And now, does that automatically make it magical when I attack him?
Yes. Until the spell ends, your weapon is now considered magical. So you should. Did you target yourself with that magic weapon? Yeah, it does say magic weapon on you, so it should automatically apply that. So you hit. Yep, and that wasn't resisted. So yep, worked perfect.
Okie dokie. That's my go.
Okay. Borg.
Okay, going to move up and probably say something else about his hair. He seemed self-conscious about it last time.
All right, go ahead.
And, right, so I targeted him. Scroll down.
Oh, wait. That only says 4 damage. Could have sworn I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 1.
So it was a 1.
Yep,
Sorry,
it
my
shows the die. The die shows a 1 plus 3.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it looks like he got it this time. Wait, the DC is 10 or
Yep, he made us. He made the save.
okay. So anyway, I'm going to use my bonus action to I guess give bardic inspiration to Baxian.
All right.
That makes sense because he's coming up next. So I targeted him. I need to find it's up at the top. Check off this little box to say that I did it. And now I need to find the combat tracker and advance it because there's nothing else I can do. It's up to
Alright.
you, Baxian. That's what I said. It's up to you.
Bax?
You can do it.
All right. I'm going to run around behind and come up from this side.
Okay, so you'll get a +2 to hit and damage.
All right. And I get sneak attack on this one, right?
Yes, but
Okay.
apply that after you.
Oh, after a hit.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
order of operation is you swing to attack. If you hit, apply your sneak attack, then roll for the damage.
Okay.
Yep, that's a miss.
All right.
Because now, see, since you,
Doesn't he have
It
bardic inspiration?
oh, that's true. You do have bardic inspiration.
Okay. Let me roll that. 6.
Okay, so that's a hit. So now apply your sneak attack again,
Okay.
and then roll for damage. And how does it die?
It just blinks out of existence.
Okay, yep, you come up behind it, do the whole throat slitting thing, and it just vanishes, leaving behind some ectoplasm on the floor.
So I think those stories may have been real.
Yep, this place is definitely haunted.
And so, Braun, from where you're at, you can see a little further. You guys can now see a little further into both of those caves. So let me unmask all this. Now, Braun, from where you're at, up inside this cave to the north, you see lying on the ground, kind of breathing heavily and appears to be asleep, a large creature that looks like it has the front half of a cat and the back half of a fish.
Huh.
Looks like one of what's your name's animals? Granny's.
So she tried to kill us?
Well, she had cubs of whatever this creature is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't
So-
genuinely believe that. She seems like a fine, upstanding citizen of this town.
Of course.
Looks like a catfish to me.
Uh-oh.
Coincidences, I'm just saying.
Sorry, my fantasy grounds crashed.
See, I told you she's trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm
One
every time, like,
down,
you know,
5 to go.
Right.
yeah, every time what is it, like, you know, some more Fog of War is released, it slows down a lot for me for about a second.
Yeah.
Right. I unfortunately didn't realize how big this map was until I loaded it. I should have shrunk it down a bit with GIMP before loading it into Fantasy Grounds.
Does that look like the Dead Man's bootlaces down there?
Yes, it does look like there is a bunch of seaweed down there.
All right, so who wants to go into that room first? I'm saying not it.
It's the room just to the north of you, above you, that has the big cat thing. The one with the seaweed, you do not see any creatures in it.
Oh,
You
I
just
thought-
see
no,
a
I-
still Yep, that room you just looked into has a still rock pool of salt water that fills the majority of the cavern. Growing within it are dozens of kinds of seaweed. Braun, you're going up the
Going
stairs.
up the stairs. I'm going to stay right here at the edge of the stairs with my spiritual weapon and see if this thing tries to attack. If it does, then I'm going to definitely hit it with the spiritual weapon as it comes up.
Well, you can see from where you were at, you could see that it is sleeping. From back where you were at, when you initially saw into the room and you looked up there, you could see the thing laying there asleep.
Okay. I'll try to prep up there, up to where I'm at right now.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
I don't know why it rolled twice. Oh, I do know because I have
Because your
disadvantage.
armor. Yep. So yeah, you start going up, and your armor kind of snags on some of the dead wood and makes a clatter. And sure enough, the thing's head suddenly shoots up, looking right at you. And so that is going to be initiative.
Oh, that thing's large.
Yeah, it is quite big.
I mean, presumably we haven't even heard anything yet.
No, you guys haven't heard anything yet. So we'll go to the cub will act first. He'll be the first one that knows something's on. So it will move 5 feet. It kind of flops itself forward a little bit. And then it'll be Braun.
Okay. I am going to, first of all, with the bonus action, I'm going to move the spiritual weapon in. That's as close as I can get to the 5 feet without overlapping on this thing.
Right.
And keep it this way. Okay. I'll go ahead and attack with it.
That is a hit, but you didn't target the creature. Anything else?
Sure. Let's take step 5 foot forward so I can take a swing at this thing. And I'm going to hit it with my warhammer.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Tokens unlocked.
There.
That's a hit.
All right. And that's my turn.
Okay. The rest of you hear a roar from up where Braun is at. And the sea lion is going to bite you once and claw you once, Braun. Oops.
All right. Dang.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, so it just lunges forward and almost takes your entire shoulder in its mouth.
Ouchie.
And then it will try to claw you as well. But it misses. And Torg.
All right. Let's
critical
see.
hits. It's going to be like the last battle all over again.
1,
Right.
3, 4, 5, and then I think that's as far as I can go.
Yep, and you can't see anything.
Unless I like take my bonus action to dash, right? Or my action to dash.
Correct.
But then I might slip.
That's correct.
So I think, can I see Brahm?
You can see Braun, and there's a huge gaping wound in his shoulder where it looks like something just took a massive bite out of him.
Okay, so I can use my action to tell that wound to close up a little with a healing word.
Nope, healing word is a bonus action. You cannot
it's a
use an
bonus
action to cast it.
So I can use my bonus action to cast it then.
Correct.
All right. That's right. I knew it was a bonus action. I mean, it doesn't change anything in this situation, but except because I wasn't going to use my anyway.
Right. Yep.
So that helped him a little. And
Yep,
I'm gonna
so
have
you-
to.
So
Actually,
you still have an action.
I don't think I can do much with it.
Okay.
So I'll just like ready whatever I can.
All right.
Hmm.
Zenareth.
Oh boy. All right. I am going to, let's see, I'm going to move up about here. And then I am going to cast on Braun. I am going to cast Enlarge. So that should have done it. Are you enlarged? Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. And that is going to be the end of my turn.
Okay. Bax.
I will move towards the sound.
Okay.
That's as far as I can make on my move action,
Yeah,
but
you can barely see that sea lion.
so could I fire at it with like as it's in cover?
It would have cover.
Okay. So is that a disadvantage?
Nope, just a +2 to its AC.
So
roll
-2 on my
and-
roll.
Yep, yep.
Gotcha.
Yep, your bolt hits and ricochets off the side of that tunnel.
All right, and that'll be my turn.
All right. There. Square. And the cub will try to bite you, Braun.
Okay.
And miss terribly. It does not look very good on land. Oh, hold on. Pack tactics, so it gets advantage. Sorry. Still misses you. Yep. And Capissa.
So, as his action, Capissa will obviously, upon hearing the kerfuffle going on in one of the side caverns, will equip his shield.
Okay.
And as he strides forward, he'll get to about here, stepping through Torgal.
Yep. You can see both of the creatures, but they do have cover from you.
He is going to How do I put this? Does he know what these things are? Like, obviously.
Nature check.
Sure. Where's nature? Here we go. 13.
They are sea lions.
Does he know enough about sea lions to know they technically don't breathe water?
They do. They are amphibious. They can breathe water or air.
Okay. In that case, he will attempt to coax the sea lions into backing off.
You also know that this is a mother defending her cub. You're not going to talk it out of fighting now.
In that case, he's going to yell a warning to Bran, saying, like, Bestie flee, that is a mother and her cub, behind us. And he will take the dodge action.
All right.
Which I believe I can select, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That.
Vatin?
Yep. So
Yep, you hear Kapissa yell out that that's a mother and her cub, and so you know something's going on up there.
Well, I'll bring up the rear.
Yeah, you can't even see Braun from there.
Yeah, I'll just have to wait to get in line.
All right.
Let's see. It's just that.
Braun.
Okay, as my action, I will disengage.
All right.
That's 25. And then I'm going to, with my bonus action, bring the spiritual weapon down to there. And I'm going to attack the cub. Because I'm trying to make her. Next time I want Chips to tell her that if she doesn't back off, I'll kill her cub.
Unless you kill it now.
Oh man, that was harsh.
Yep, the spiritual weapon slices through it, and blood just pours out everywhere. And with a mule, it falls over and flops a couple times, but then lays limp.
Okay, I don't think we're getting out with this one now.
Sorry about that, guys.
Goodness.
The sea lion will come down. Well, actually, it can't get past Kapissa. So it'll bite at the person it can reach. With 2 attacks. Thanks to the dodge, that missed. That avoided a crit, in fact.
Nice.
So yeah, it tries to claw at you a couple times, bite and claw at you, Kapissa, and misses. Torg.
Right. I am gonna move over here. Probably give room for Vatin to get into close combat if he wants. And I am sadly gonna try to use vicious mockery to make fun of it losing its baby. Try.
Oh my goodness.
So, let's see.
And
And-
critical failure.
It's hurt by it. My words hurt it quite a bit. I'm not a great guy, but I don't think I need to use my bonus action. I'll just let it be Xanareth's turn.
All right, Xanareth.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use catapult to pick up the baby. No, I'm not going to do that.
And by the way, Torg, for that you can have an inspiration. That was so cold-blooded, man. That was wow.
It's super effective, I guess. All right. Are there any conveniently placed rocks I could perhaps pick up and throw?
Yeah, there's driftwood, there's stones, there's easily something you can catapult.
Yeah, let's go with like a hefty looking chunk of driftwood.
All
We'll
right.
toss that. Alrighty. Me. Make sure I'm targeting you. All right. Fantastic. Right. And oops. Nope, already did that part.
Man, 2 natural ones on this. All right.
Well, it's a good thing that I made it use them now. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to chuck that driftwood at it.
Yep, piece of driftwood slams into it with a loud crack.
And then I'm going to turn to Braun and be like, I didn't make you big so you could kill the little one. And then I'm going to end my turn.
Axe.
All right, I'm going to jump up here and attack with my rapier.
All right.
Oh,
That's a hit.
nice.
Don't forget to apply your sneak attack.
Right. And then I'm going to use my fancy footwork to move back out of the way. And that will be my turn.
All right. Capissa.
Capissa feels pretty good about being a fat old frontliner. And he is going to devote his action once again to dodging.
Okay. Batten.
Okay, I'll run in here. Take a first swing, that's a miss.
Yep.
I'll use my special War Priest function to take a second attack. Oh, dang. Okay. And that's my goal.
Okay. Run.
Okay, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
And then bonus action, the Spiritual Weapon.
That is a hit. All right.
And that will be my turn.
All right. And your spiritual weapon winks out. It's been 10 rounds. because there was the time during the previous combat, a little bit of time between combats, and now 3 rounds have passed in this one.
Okay.
The sea lion will attack the new threat that's come up.
To be fair, I'm the only one that actually attempted to attack it.
Yep. What did it get?
Well, you're the
Is
only
it-
one it can get to that attempted to attack it. The
Well,
Baxian.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why it got disadvantage on that.
Vicious mockery.
Oh, vicious mockery. Correct. Okay, so it missed
Oh.
that attack and it tries to claw you. That is a hit.
It was having trouble swinging at you through the tears that are streaming down its face.
Right. It's just devastated emotionally. If it manages to TPK you all, it's going to have years of therapy to deal with what Torg has just done. And Torg.
Well, I am going to do it again because that's the only move I can get to it with.
All right.
So, try the roll.
It succeeds
but I
on
got
its
it.
save that time. It's
Time.
yeah, there's only so much emotional trauma. It's getting numb.
I'm gonna try to give my bardic inspiration, I guess, to Baton, because
All right.
can use it, and it's the next person's turn.
Xanareth.
All right, looks like we're doing pretty good. So I'm gonna take it easy and just hurl a firebolt at it, I guess.
All right.
And completely miss. I think that's just about all I got. I'm just gonna rah Sisumba Vatten over there.
Okay.
For I mean, not for effect, clearly, but just like to make sure that he understands that I appreciate
Yeah.
what him and Kapissa are doing.
You are giving him moral support. And he
I'm
feels
providing
like
the
a
moral
valued
support.
member of the team who is accomplishing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Go ahead and advance the tracker if you're
Oh, yep. Sorry. There we go.
All right, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
Okay. That's a hit.
Do I get sneak attack? Since I
Yes,
have
you-
a.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Plenty of friends.
Appreciate it.
Ooh,
And that will
it's
be
too
my
bad I
turn.
didn't hit it.
Kapissa?
So Kapissa feels a bit neglected by this giant sea lion. And so he is going to remind it that, hey, I'm a threat here, and give it a little poke. So double checking. Okay, it's one-handed. He's gonna hit. That's a 13 to hit. Oh, sorry, like the damn thing, right?
Hold on, let me look.
I roll
That-
damage.
That is not a hit. 13 is not a hit.
In that case, he feels like this thing hits pretty hard, so he is going to use Action Surge.
Okay.
He's going to try again. It's a
That
17
is a hit.
And then, how do I turn back on the dual line? Do I just click it?
Yeah, just yep.
Okay. Oh, yep. Minimum damage 6. And it is marked.
Okay.
And with that,
Button.
Okie dokie. Going swinging.
That is a miss.
And I shall again use my War Priest function to get
Yep.
another attack.
That is a hit.
Finally.
How does it die?
I come in under its guard and I thrust my sword up through its head.
All
And then
right.
pulling it out, it drops to the ground.
All right. So, dead sea lion at your feet.
Well, aside from the fact that we, stumbled on a cub and its mother, that kind of went almost like we planned it. That's pretty good.
Bissell looks a bit deflated. Twas necessary, though.
At a point, it was.
Once I woke her up, I'm afraid it was necessary. We'd have never got into the other cave to get or if we did get into the other cave, we'd have got trapped in there.
Well, search for spoils. Decide if you wish to partake of its meat or not. Maybe its hide.
There's a lot of blubber there. Don't they?
Great for candles. No, I have no idea.
Don't they boil that blubber down for the oils to use in lamps?
At the very least. Okay.
All right. So, what are you doing? So, Tor, you make your way back into the rock pool.
Yeah, I'm gonna search for whatever plants meet the description that.
Give me a nature check.
Right. Did my no, it's back. Everything's behind everything sometimes. Okay, nature is in alphabetical, so it's right there. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
you pull up a bunch of seaweed that you think looks like what was described.
Can I also take a look?
Yep. Are you the one that got the sample from?
I am.
Huh?
I am, yes.
Then you get advantage.
Nature, yeah?
Yep.
Egad.
You also pull up some that you think looks right. So you think you've got enough between you and Torg right now to make 2 potions.
I'm going to check where the sea lions were gingerly to see if there's anything of value up there.
Nope, just lots of partially eaten fish and some driftwood. Looks like they had just a little den made in there, but they didn't have anything of value.
All right,
Dave,
well,
can I check around in the rest of this where the seaweed and stuff is?
Yep, give
Check.
me a perception check.
All right.
Yeah, it just looks like a cave.
All right.
I'm going to look.
Do what, Braun? You got cut off there.
What's that?
Braun started to say something but got cut off.
Yeah, if the sea lion has tusks, I'd like to knock them out with my warhammer.
It does
take the
not have
tusk.
tusks. It has fangs.
Fangs.
Yep.
Like,
It's a lion head. It has the head of a
Okay.
lion.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those weird, from like 2nd edition D&D where they took 2 creatures and mashed them together type thing.
Surely you must mean a
Like,
platypus.
yeah, back then a seahorse had half of horse, half a fish. All right, Vatten, what are you doing now?
Now that I've got plenty of all the herbs that I need, I'm going to give this cave a wee search, I guess.
All right, give me a perception check. So you find up here, unmask it. A false wall that looks like it might lead to someplace else.
Oh, here, look at this, guys.
As you look at it, you can tell it's just slightly off-colored from the rest of the chamber.
A secret passage.
Anybody
Looks
else
like-
gathering seaweed?
I'll try.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I would probably try and take enough that I might be able to actually sell some to the lady.
All right.
Yeah,
Go
was
ahead and give me your
That's
nature
like
checks.
how much,
Alright.
other than a couple of handfuls, quote unquote, whatever that means.
Yep. You
Alright.
gather up some seaweed.
Oh man, these rolls.
Some salt water to go with it.
Yeah. Braun. Nature check.
Nature check.
Yep. Yeah, so not only are you able to gather up two good chunks of this seaweed, enough that you think suitable to make a potion, but looking at it, you realize that the junk everybody else has been pulling up, that's the totally wrong stuff.
Even the stuff that I'm pulling at.
No, I think you got the goods.
I got the good stuff.
I'll go take a look.
Hey guys, I might want to look at this.
I compare.
Yeah,
I don't
now
know.
that you're
kinda
looking
looks
at
like
his
the same
versus
stuff to
yours, you
me.
can tell that yours isn't quite right.
I'm fairly convinced that it's the same stuff.
All
I don't
right.
know. You might have to use a persuasion check on me. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm still gonna like dump it out and be like, okay, but like, whatever you
looks
say,
the
man.
same to me.
Yeah.
Can I attempt to try and get some more, which
Sure.
looks more
Yeah.
like what he's got?
Yeah, you can try to get some that looks like what he's.
What is that? Nature check again?
Yep. And you still have advantage because you've got the samples that she gave you as well. Yeah, this time you're able to go back in and find some that looks just like what Braun picked up.
All right.
I'll take another stab. I'm gonna be like, hey,
All right.
this stuff? No, not this stuff. That stuff?
Right. So nature check.
Sure.
And you can have advantage because now you have samples to go by.
Awesome.
Now,
Nice.
yeah, you pull up
Good
a
job.
couple handfuls of this stuff. Oh yeah, now that he's shown you exactly what it looks like and you're looking at it, you can see it totally now.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Well, I guess I'm going to swallow my pride and look for some more too.
Okay.
The differences in the shoelace.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
able to get some as well. So you guys have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enough for 6 potions.
Do that.
Nice.
No, you could.
All right. Well, about time to. Oh, maybe we should check that door.
Yes, the secret way over here.
Yep. You can give me an investigation check. Vatten.
Investigation.
Yeah, you just don't see any way to actually open that door.
Maybe somebody else should have a crack at this.
Is
Well,
it a door or just a wall?
It looks like just a false wall of some type. You're just assuming there has to be a way to open it.
Can I search it for like some kind of keyhole or opening device or?
Yep. Give me a second. Why are you guys not showing up in? Yep. So go ahead and give me a investigation check in the tower. Jax. Yeah. So you also, you're not saying you don't think this thing actually opens. Might only open from the inside or something.
It's a wall, guys. It's just a wall.
No, you can definitely tell it's not just a wall.
all right.
But
Can
you
I
do not see any way to open it.
can I take a check to see if there are any, like, I don't know, grooves or like rubbed spots? Like,
Yep. You also can
indications of
give me
use.
an investigation check in the tower.
alrighty. Where's my tower at? Investigation.
So you walk over and it's really difficult to see, and you have to clean some seaweed off of one of the places, but you see where you can kind of work your hand into this crevice and pull this lever inside and unlatch it. And the wall just kind of slides to the side, revealing an interior chamber. And let me go ahead and reveal the rest of that map.
You know, that was really scary for a second because there was this play I saw where a guy reached into the hole and it just didn't end well.
Yeah, something bites your hand off.
Yeah, right.
Definitely wasn't dwarven work.
It's another half lion, half fish, does it?
Yeah. At least they don't serve monkey brains on this island, as far as I'm aware.
Just hey, Capessa, does your kinfolk, do they work in stone?
Beg your pardon?
Well, that I noticed this definitely wasn't dwarven work, so I was just wondering if your kinfolks work in stone.
Yeah, so you guys, you pull aside the false wall aside, revealing a small grotto filled with junk and lit by bluish light coming from an old lantern. Reels of rope coil around the barrels of stinking seaweed, huge glass jars of preserved fish, crates of soggy books, cages filled with bones, and a pair of barnacle-covered chests. As you enter, the false wall swings shut behind you.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I guess I'd probably be closer to the front.
Yeah, you guys can arrange yourselves in here however you would be.
So you said there's light in here?
Yep, there's a lantern giving off a blue light.
Is there any point in here that it's like dim or dark, or is it pretty well?
The whole thing is dim light.
All right. Well, I'll throw up some dancing lights and see if I can't brighten it up a little more.
All right. Yep. So there's a couple of barrels, or a bunch of barrels, a couple of chests, several crates, some cages filled with human bones.
I'm gonna check out those books.
You check out the books, and they are all just completely almost falling apart because they've been soaked for so long. They're just completely illegible and unusable.
Oh, damn.
I'll check out the barrels because they may contain ale.
So the barrels, one of them is just filled with like sodden clothing that looks like it was taken from possibly the creatures in the chests. Some of the other barrels are filled with the bones of various sea creatures. You have one that's just got driftwood shoved all inside of it, and another one that just has like various bits of tackle and rigging from a ship.
I feel a smidge uncomfortable in this room.
Yeah, maybe you said the thing slammed shut behind us.
Yep, the door closed behind you.
I think I'm going to go take a look and see if I can't figure out how to open it again.
All right.
Make sure that we can get out.
We definitely need to go over and look at these chests that are covered with barnacles.
All right. They both have two large iron padlocks on them.
Oh, I'm gonna go over here and check these boxes out.
Okay. One of the crates is they are all filled with all kinds of seaweed and driftwood and such. One of the crates is labeled Dead Man's Shoelaces. Xanareth, you can give me an investigation check for the wall.
Can I try unlocking those padlocks?
Give me yeah, Xanareth, you do not see any way to open those. You can give me a Thieves' Tools check, Bax.
Okay.
So you go and you're trying to open the first one. And give me just 1 second to pull up. So as you are messing around with the lock, the sound of running water begins rushing through the entire chamber. And on initiative 20, a bunch of ropes drop down from the cavern and whip out, trying to attack each of you. So let me see. Put something on the tracker.
You say rope?
Ropes.
Yeah. Some rope is trying to hang us on its own, I think.
Okay,
Oh,
it won't let me.
Combat tracker. I guess I see where the ropes are. Yeah.
It isn't loaded. Now? Yep, okay. Okay. So I only need.
I'm beginning to think we pressed our luck.
Bunch of ropes come down. And they are going to try and grapple each of you. All right. automatically have initiative 20. So you are each. So some of you, let's see. The Hangman's Noose grabs Torg and Xanareth and Capissa. Each take that damage. Did it roll damage? Did not. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wasn't scrolled down far enough.
3
So
points.
each of you take 3
Yeah.
damage, and you are now all grappled. And everybody in the room is also affected by the deafening noises and have to make a check. Failed are deafened. And then Torg.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to attack whatever was grappling me.
Yep,
sword.
it's just the ropes.
So, guess I target the trap.
Yep,
Since it's grappling me, I guess I can get to it, right?
yep.
Okay. All right, damage, right?
Yep, but doesn't appear to have any effect.
Oh, okay. So I guess next person.
Yep. Braun. You are, first, you're no longer enlarged. Longer have spiritual weapon.
It's deafened.
Button no longer has bardic inspiration. All right.
Okay,
Ron?
as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Searing Smite,
Okay.
and then I'm going to attack the ropes with my warhammer.
All right, go ahead.
Now, do I put the Searing Smite on first, or
Nope, make the attack roll. Yep, you hit one of the ropes.
okay? So here's the Healing Smite.
Right, and
And my
doesn't actually seem to have any effect. Bits of ropes burn off and stuff, but the ropes don't fall away, and just the pieces that you sear and burn away are just immediately replaced.
okay, because it says that it stays on fire.
Right.
It says it
Yeah,
causes the
so
target
some of the rope burns away, but the rest just remains. There's like multiple strands of rope wrapped around your compatriots.
Burn down one
Right.
rope.
So
two more
the
rope.
trap is just a token to target you guys. There isn't actually a creature to attack. You started to learn that you cannot hurt the ropes.
Okay. And that will be my
All right.
turn.
Bax.
I'm going to go into shell defense and start crawling towards where the doorway was.
Okay.
Oops, I can't move, but
Yep. Oh, that's right. Your speed becomes 0. So you
Well, I can
just
crawl.
drop into no. Your speed becomes 0 when you
Yeah,
go into
but I
sheriff
can.
defense.
Yeah, but I can crawl.
No, your speed is 0.
Okay.
Yeah, so your speed becomes 0. So even if you said, okay, I'm going to crawl, well, okay, so you can move half your speed when you crawl. What is your
Okay.
speed? It's 0.
Okay. Well, it
Yeah,
says you are prone, and prone can crawl, so that's what I assumed you could
right,
crawl.
but
I
your
could crawl.
speed, it also says your speed becomes 0.
Okay.
And so that's
I got
what makes you not able to move.
Okay.
Vatten.
Seeing that the ropes appear to regenerate, is there any obvious source of that of the ropes magic?
No, there's the driftwood beams like everywhere else, all across the ceiling. Just dozens of them that are look like from old ships with all this rigging and stuff that was probably on it when the ships crashed, and so there's lots and lots of ropes around. No singular source.
Hmm.
And
Can I-
on initiative 10, water rose in the room to 10 feet. So the room is now full of 10 feet of water.
Right. Can I attempt to get Xanareth out of the grasp of the
Yeah,
rope?
make a strength check. Yeah, you pull on the ropes and you're able to get it loosened up enough that he slips free and plops into the water.
I assume that takes my full turn.
Yep, that's an action to free him.
Okay. I'll just sort of be eyeing up the wall.
All right. Xanareth.
Would I be able to search the door again for an exit? I
No,
imagine-
because you are being held up about 10 feet up off the ground, 10 feet up out of the water now by these ropes.
No,
Well,
you just got grappled.
Was I not able to get him out then?
Oh, yeah, okay, so it was Xanareth you freed, sorry.
Yep.
For some reason I was thinking you freed Capessa. So yeah, so you can swim down and
Take another
yep,
stab at
you
it.
will be at disadvantage on your investigation check under the water. Yeah, you don't see any. You don't see that lever from this side.
All right. Well, I am going to try and oops. I believe I'm locked. I was going to move out of the way so maybe somebody else can take a crack at this.
Yep. Okay, I unlocked your token. Sorry. Yeah.
Alright.
Whenever you put anything on the map, it locks everybody.
Yep. I may try to swim towards whatever chest they were toying with when
All right.
all of this started to happen.
Sure. Yep, so you
I-
swim over to the chest.
Cool. Thank you. All right, and
Anything else?
no, sorry.
Oh,
That's
yep. Capissa,
So,
you are held by ropes.
yeah. Capissa gets the feeling that stabbing it with a piercy weapon is not going to be as effective as slashing at it with an axe.
Right. You've
However-
seen Braun burn them. You've seen
Yeah.
others slash at them, and it hasn't had an effect.
Yeah. This all started when we picked up a chest.
Right.
So Capissa will look specifically towards the chest. Like, was it sitting on a pressure plate or something like that? Or
yeah, you have no way. You know nothing about arcana and magic, so you have no idea what set this off.
He will attempt to examine his surroundings and join in the investigation attempt to figure out more information about what is happening.
You think that your best bet is trying to free yourself from the ropes. You don't think you're in too much danger because if the room fills up with water, it's not going to hurt you much. But the ropes are quite tight and starting to really cut into your flesh as they constrict.
So cutting them doesn't do anything, but I can attempt to
wiggle
bust
free,
my way out,
or you can attempt to wiggle free, or flex enough to make some space to get out, but through brute force strength.
All
So
right.
you can make either a strength saving throw or a dex saving throw to try to get yourself free.
Okay, a saving throw. All right. He will take strength all day for that. 19.
Yep, you're able to pry it out from around your neck and slip your head through and drop down into the water.
Sploosh. Does he feel out of reach of the ropes, or are they continuing to wiggle their way towards him?
Just hanging there limply right now.
Okay. Well, I imagine that's his turn. So.
All right.
Oh.
Yep. So the water goes up by another 10 feet. Torg, what are you doing? Wait for. Let's see. Who all is grappled?
I am still.
Yeah. So those who are still grappled. Baxian, you're not grappled. So unselect you. Votten, are you still grappled? You are not, are you?
I don't think he was originally.
Okay. So Votten's not grappled. Capissa isn't grappled. Torg, are you grappled?
I still was last I checked on.
Yep, you are still grappled. Braun is not grappled. And Xanareth is no longer grappled. So Torg's the only one still held by a rope, unfortunately.
Well, I'm gonna try to get out as soon as this thing's
Yeah.
turn ends.
But first you take 10 damage. And now it is your turn.
Okay,
And the water is now 20 foot high. So there's now just a 10-foot section up. And everybody else is underwater. You can give a dex saving throw to wiggle free if you would like, Torg, or strength, your choice.
Can I use the inspiration to, I guess, get advantage on the saving throw?
Sure, I'll let you give yourself inspiration.
Well, I mean, because I.
The inspiration that I gave you. Yeah, you can use that. Definitely, you can use that. Unfortunately, you are not able to wiggle yourself free.
I did not inspire myself enough.
Not enough.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
All right. Nothing I can do.
Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath, go down to this chest right below me, and I'm going to take my warhammer and see if I can't knock that lock off of the chest.
All right, give me a athletics check. Yeah, you just bang the lock right off of that thing. And
Go ahead and open it and see what's in it. See if there may be some type of trigger.
So in that one, You find there is a cloak in there that looks like it's made up of some type of leathery skin. And you can tell as water rushes into the chest that it's covered in some type of oil because you see the oily shimmer in the water. There is also a sack of some type, a scroll case covered in mother of pearl, and that's all that's in that particular chest.
Well, I'll try to grab this stuff and head toward the surface.
All right. You are able to do so.
And that will be my turn.
All right. Bax, you're
I am.
huddled up in your shell, and
Yep.
water is now completely surrounded you, and you're holding your breath, which you're able to do for quite a long time.
Right. Yeah. Just laying on the bottom, just enjoying the surroundings.
Okay. Are you going to continue to just turtle up, or are
Yep.
you...
Turtling up.
Okay, so you turtle up. Yeah, it didn't appear that the ropes tried to re-grab anybody or anything like that.
I'm gonna go help Torg. Attempt to get him out of those ropes.
All right, strength check. Yeah. Yeah,
Dang.
they're awfully tight, and you can't quite pull him free.
My inspired wiggling only made it worse.
Right, the ropes are even tighter now.
Well, I'll keep trying.
All right, Xenareth.
All right. I am going to attempt to discern the cause or trigger of
All right,
whatever.
give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty.
You definitely think that the trigger was magical in nature. So probably messing with the lock in the wrong way triggered some type of warding or abjuration that set off this whole thing in motion.
Would I have any idea of a way to sort of undo it?
Nope, you think that the only way is to let the trap run its course, and probably whoever set it would come in and reset it. After
Fantastic.
clearing the dead bodies of whoever attempted to loot their stuff.
Smashing it probably wouldn't do anything, and I have no dispel. Was that my action, presumably?
Yeah, to examine the lock and everything, and you see some tracings where somebody had carved some runes and stuff, so you actually had to do some inspection to discern that. And you also, yeah, that's what you would find out.
All right. I will try to convey as much to the one person who's not deafened right now.
Now you are. Do you want to swim back up to the top and try to convey that? Because, let's see, who is not deafened? That is
just Kapissa, I think.
Yeah, Kapissa, and he, I believe, is still in the water. So,
I mean, I fell down, but
oh well. I mean, I would just say it. Nobody would actually hear me, but
okay.
I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, so you swim to the top and you shout out, that it was triggered magically.
And that I can't dispel it because I didn't take that spell. Damn it. Well, that's on my wish list for level 4, apparently. That's going to be my turn.
All right. Kapissa?
So, knowing it is magical, he is going to decide that he is not the magical dealing sort, and instead will opt to help free any allies that are still dangling
Okay.
from ropes.
Strength check to try and free Torg.
So technically,
And the rest of the chamber fills up with water. So now everything is underwater.
so just
So says Capas's grapple.
What's that? Yep, so you're able to pry the ropes out from around Torg's neck, and he drops free. Now just bobbing in the water.
I imagine that's my action.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, that really no longer matters because nobody's in ropes anymore. But you now have all been underwater for 1 round. So those who can't breathe or hold their breath for long periods now had 1 round underwater.
So
Torg.
is there anything I can... Well, I would try to conserve my energy, I guess, but should I swim towards the door, or can I just...
Yeah, you can swim to the door.
Or can I just try not to need air while other people do more? No, I'll see if I can investigate.
Yeah,
the
so
door while
without any
staying.
exertion, you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to your constitution. Your constitution score. So that's 12 rounds. Each round that you exert yourself counts as 2.
Okay, well, I'll swim over here, and if I'm this far away, can I, like, check the door while...
You would actually have to swim up to it.
Okay, would I be able to swim back to let someone else check it after me?
Yeah, somebody else can get up there and check as well.
I'm targeting Baxian still for some
So
reason.
investigation check.
Investigation. I'm gonna swim back.
You do not see a way to open the door.
And next person's turn.
So Braun.
Okay, I got the stuff in my arms. I'm going to go ahead and put the cloak on.
All right.
That way I don't have to try to carry it. And then
just a second. That I don't know whether that requires attunement or not. So let me that up. It does not. So you put the cloak on, and all of a sudden you can breathe, and it becomes like the wings of this large manta ray flapping around on your shoulders. And you have a swim speed of 60, and you can breathe underwater.
Sweet.
just writing that down real quick.
No
Okay. Swim speed is 60. All right. I'm going to swim over here to the door.
All right.
I'm going to use my stone cunning to see if I can figure out some way to open this.
All right.
It's got a weakness.
Go right ahead.
That will be investigation, or
Yes, investigation.
it says it doubles the proficiency.
Right. So for you, that would give you an extra +2 right now.
And that's terrible.
Yep, even with your skill at stonework, you just don't see any way to open this door from the inside.
and
And that cost you 15 feet of movement to get over there. And you can
Right.
still go anywhere in the room as fast as you can swim now. And it's not so bad. You can breathe.
I will. I'll just. That'll be my turn for right now.
All right. Are you going to move away from the door to let somebody else up?
Oh yes, I will.
Bax.
Okay, I'm going to de-turtle.
Okay, you
And,
turtle.
And I'm going to move over to the door and use my claws. I've got like razor sharp claws on my hands,
Okay.
and see if I can make any damage into the doorway.
No, you do not see. You slash, you're clawing solid stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so doesn't really do much damage.
All right. So if I don't see any effect from it, I'm just going to move away from the door then.
All right. Button?
Yep. I'll attempt to see if we can open this door.
So currently, Baxian can hold his breath for, I think it's an hour, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So the only two that need to breathe are Torg and Xanareth. Everybody else is kind of fine in here.
Can we do the shape of water?
Right. All right. So Votten, yeah, you can go ahead and make your investigation check for the door.
Nope.
Since that cloak doesn't take attunement, they could just puff past with the cloak.
Oh, that is true.
That's what I was thinking, but I was also sitting here going, I can't speak underwater, so.
Correct.
Same here.
Buddy breathing.
Even if I did, nobody could hear me.
Or he could take a breath, walk over, and mouth to mouth that.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
does it say that he can breathe water, or water becomes air in his lungs, or
Yeah, it doesn't
So-
say. It just
He
says
mouth-
that you can breathe underwater.
so I think if he mouth to mouth to us, it would be like he
Yeah,
breathed water
that probably
in.
wouldn't be too good.
No, for several reasons.
Yeah, I'm just unless maybe he wants to mouth somebody. I don't know, but
I'm going to be sitting here playing rock, paper, scissors to figure out who gets stuck.
yeah,
Heck with
Bron,
that, I've
Bron
got a
comes
scribble.
over puckering up, and Xanareth and Torg start wrestling to see who's going to take it.
No,
all right.
I've got a scroll tube, so I don't have to get mouth to mouth.
Oh,
I
true.
just blow
Yeah,
it through.
that's right. All right. So Votten, you failed your check. Xanareth?
I will also have moved away.
Well, so I failed to investigate that door twice already. So I am going to probably be ineffectual. I am going to use catapult to try and throw, I don't know, like a big rock at it or something.
All right.
Because why not? Do I have to roll attack, I guess?
No. So how much damage does it do?
3d8.
Yeah, you go ahead and roll. So it looks like that did a little couple of flakes chip off the door.
All right.
But it looks like it is quite thick and it's going to take significant amount of time. Oh, does that have verbal component?
It does not. It's only somatic.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I double checked. All right, I feel better because I feel like we've made some progress now, even if
All
it
right.
was not a significant amount of progress. And that's going to be my turn. Well, I mean, I'm just going to
Right.
gesture violently, like, what the hell is going on?
Capissa.
So, seeing that breath has been acquired for his non-aquatic friends, he is going to join the effort in trying to figure out a way through the door.
All right, so investigation check.
Skills, investigation, RNG, please. 11.
Nope, you don't see a way to open that door.
Big Fishman shrug.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
look for something one more time. But just imagine I moved up to the door and then I moved back after I failed
Right,
this.
go ahead and give me your check. So you go up and you're frantically, because you can't, breathe, and you're starting to want air pretty bad. So you just start clawing at the seaweed and moss that's covering this door, and you find that little notch where you can just slip your fingers barely in there, and pull that lever, and the door slides open. The water rushes out, forcing you all into that outer chamber.
I want to point out it's the same as my investigation, but I accidentally rolled history.
Oh.
It's the exact same one, so I just...
Well, you recall that, long ago, the sea folk used to build these trick walls. But yeah, so you guys are all swept out into the seaweed in this outer chamber. And
Flopping around like
the
fish out
water
of water.
subsides down, but now it's about up to your waists throughout this cavern.
Are we still deafened?
You are.
I'm
You
going
will
to
be
gesture
deafened for an
violently
hour.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I'm also yelling while I'm gesturing. I just
Okay, right.
I'm gonna wave at everybody with the scroll case and with this little bag that I found, some type of sack, and point back in. And I'm gonna go back to the other chest that was never opened and use my warhammer to break it open. Break
All
open the
right.
lock.
I'm gonna stay in this room.
Okay, so
Do I need to roll athletics or something?
yep, roll an athletics check. You hammer on this one, and that lock appears to be a much more difficult to break. But you can try again. You can keep hammering on it till it breaks open. So no need to keep rolling. Anybody else in there with him as he's hammering away several times at this?
Yeah, I'll help him out.
All
You
right.
couldn't get me to go back into that room.
does it seem like it's still filling at any?
Nope, doesn't seem to be filling anymore.
Oh, okay.
And the sound of the rushing water when the door opened, for those who could hear that sound, deafening sound, has gone away.
I'll be using my shape water to make like a void around the chest to make it easier to open.
All right. Anybody else entering the room?
Also, is the outflow of water, did it carry any of the items that were in the room out with us?
Yeah, a bunch of the barrels and stuff that were not attached, the bones, the seaweed crates, the books all wash out into that outer area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so as you smash open that chest, suddenly these puppets, small puppets, dancing from ropes all on their own, just fly out and begin dancing around you and why are there only 5? There should be There we go.
We're just dancing.
And just dancing around the room. And as you catch a glimpse of them, you realize that each of the puppets look exactly like one of you.
Oh dear.
Well, this is mighty creepy.
And both of you need to give me a wisdom check.
Are these like life-size puppets?
No, they're small.
Okay.
So child size about. So Braun. You need to give me a percentile check. Yep, as you watch the puppets, you suddenly feel compelled to start dancing along with them, and you start dancing around the room.
Oh boy.
So Braun starts dancing with the puppets. Capissa, or not Vatten. And those of you, so Torg, where you're at, and you and Capissa and Baxian can see the puppets from where you're at as well. So I will need the wisdom checks.
Sure.
Wisdom saving throws. Xanareth, you can't see them, so you don't have to. Capissa, percentile roll.
How do I do percentile? Do I just roll 2d10?
Right click on the D10 and click percent.
I'm sorry, what do I?
Right click on the D10 and click percent.
33.
You are terrified by these puppets and immediately flee as far as you can get from them. You run back, clamber right back up into the boat. You want nothing to do with those puppets. And you will be frightened for 8 minutes. Braun, you will dance for 6.
Why can't I move?
Because I added the puppets and it locked the tokens. Now you can move.
Okay.
Yep. Anything you want to do, Vatten? Or anybody else? Anybody want to do anything to the puppets? Or to the chest or anything? Within the chest, there is nothing left.
Are we going in
What's that?
Initiative order?
No, just if you want to do something, just tell me. The puppets are just dancing, so there's no real need to do it by initiative.
At the moment, I've only just figured out anything is going on because Capissa just ran by like a bat.
Right. Well, you can see the puppets.
Right.
That's why you had to make the wisdom save. You could see them.
Well, so I couldn't see them, so I saw him run by, and I can't hear anything.
Oh, is that Xanareth?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
So I'm only just figuring out.
Right, yeah, you're just figuring out something's going on. Do you want to do anything?
Okay, so I turn around and I see Torg and Bax. Were you guys doing anything, or are you just kind of standing there?
Well, I mean, I'm deafened at this point, so I probably can't hear you, but
yeah, I'm just trying to get a gauge of like how much I've managed to figure out, you know.
I mean, by this point, I think I've seen this guy dancing around inside there, so I think I'm gonna go in and look at the puppets.
All right, so you go in. Vatten, what were you doing?
Yeah,
I was just going to go to the door and like wave my arms to sort of signal them.
All right, so Torg enters to look at the puppets.
I mean,
Bax,
I guess
what
I
are
would.
you doing? Bax?
Oh, since he came out and waved his arms, I guess I will walk over to see what he is motioning about.
Well, you've seen the puppets,
Yeah,
so you know what he's motioning about.
yeah.
The puppets, and Bron is dancing with them.
Can I go get Braun's arm and try to pull him out of that area?
You're gonna have to grapple him.
I
Okay.
will help.
All right, so make grapple checks. If you're helping, you can give him advantage on the grapple check. So it's an attack roll, an athletics check, and that's
At
opposed
advantage?
by bronze. Yep. And
Okay.
Bron, you get to make an athletics or an acrobatics check, whichever one's better. Yep, so you grapple him and are trying to drag him toward
Out
the
of the
door.
room and yeah.
But he is struggling to get free and dance.
Oh, jeez. Which puppet is puppet 4? 'Cause-
So just count down from the top of the combat tracker, and they're in that order. So Torg would be puppet 1, Bron would be 2, Bax 3, Votten 4, Xanareth 5, and Capessa 6.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to cut down puppet 4.
All right. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
And hope that this doesn't like accidentally kill
Yeah.
my attacks are up at the top. Yeah. Oh, target it. Yeah. That way it's not that hard.
That's a hit.
Damage.
Yep. So you slaughter puppet 4, and that deals 6d6 necrotic damage to Votten.
You're welcome, Botten.
Oh.
Yeah, you just when the puppet disintegrates, you just feel as if your soul is being ripped out.
Okay. I'm gonna just crawl out of this room now.
All
Yeah, just,
right.
within the corner. Well,
Anybody else
So-
wish to do anything? Bax, you dragged Bron out, but he's still trying to dance, even out in the outer room.
I mean,
Can
if
we?
he's,
I'm
if
going
he's
to
pulled that
continue
far-
trying to drag him out towards the boat. Just
All right.
get him as far away as I can.
Yeah, if
Okay.
if he's pulled that far, I will help him to the boat.
All right. Yeah. As far as you guys drag him, he keeps trying to dance. You are pretty sure that if you put him in the boat, he's going to capsize the boat on you.
Maybe we should.
I mean, it might just be a time issue. It might wear out on its own.
Or
Would
we
I
could,
potentially know that?
We could knock him
Arcana
out.
check.
Wow.
No, this is permanent. He's going to dance forever.
That
You're
actually
almost
sounds
certain
wonderful.
that this is a permanent curse, and you'll have to get him to the mainland to uncurse him.
You've seen this at least 2 times before.
Right.
Dave, I'm going to take my rope out and try tying his legs up to prevent him
All
from
right. You will
dancing.
need to make an athletics check to pin him.
Okay.
Can I help?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Sure. Yeah.
don't I
Okay.
pin
So
him?
you guys are all going to gang up on Bron and force him down, and you manage to bind him, and he's still flopping, trying to dance.
is he smiling? Out of curiosity.
No, he is definitely not smiling.
Just
No.
doing the worm.
So
If he,
while you guys
like,
are doing
3 feet of
that,
water,
binding him. After about 6 minutes, Capessa, you're no longer afraid.
Huh, huh, huh.
All right. So
Once he's finished tied up, can I go in and see what was in that chest?
Yeah, nothing other than the puppets. It was
Okay.
empty except for the puppets.
Is it?
all right.
Okay.
I wonder, like, if I went in there and instead of cutting a puppet down, I tried like pulling the puppet down. Oh
Do you really want to be mucking about with those things?
Well, if you're gonna
no!
do it to one of them, do it to Capissa because he's the healthiest.
What now?
So I'm gonna go in there and find Capissa's puppet.
Thou art laughing. I can hear thee.
I'm going to try to grapple it, not
He's the only one that can.
Okay, so you try to grapple a puppet. Go ahead and give me a grapple check.
That's athletics, you said, right?
Yep, athletics check.
It's
And let's see, that's number 6.
So the puppet
So
grapples me.
that didn't. Oh, come on. Oh, you sorry sucker. There we go. Yeah, it breaks free of your grip and continues dancing around the room.
Well, this is probably enough time spent. Just
Yeah.
slightly bothers me having possible voodoo dolls.
Yep. So,
hanging out there.
as that's all going on, another couple minutes, and Braun, you are able to stop dancing.
I will untie Braun.
Yeah, he starts jumping and flopping around, and you untie him, and he appears to be fine.
I am going to.
Just can't hear that, right?
You're going to do what?
I was going to say I was going to mime to get the hell out of here.
All right. So you all make your way back to the boat then, leaving the dancing puppets behind. And that is a good place to call it for this week.
All right.
You guys are in the boat and about to head back to town.
I was so afraid those puppets were going to start attacking.
Hey, Gotham, you're starting to look a little green around the gills. What's that about?
I was thinking,
There was something. I felt a need to flee in terror to the safe brine. And upon arriving, I had a moment to think, and I wasn't as afraid anymore. So I believe it was some sort of magical curse upon me.
Sure. It's all right. It's all right. We all have that happen every now and then.
No, I'm serious, forsooth.
All right. Okay.
I got to thinking about it.
Please. Understand. He's basically like, no, please don't.
Xanareth totally, entirely believes him, but he's still playing with him anyways.
Yeah.
I got to thinking about it too, and I think the best way to break that curse would have been for each person to kill themselves.
You can go back right now and do that.
Yeah. That might be the only way of doing it.
Yeah,
for all we know.
there's still time for you to go back, and you haven't left yet.
Well, are we
Yeah,
leaving
that's
this
it.
week, or can I have a week to think about it?
Yep. So, yep, we will call it there, and
All right.
good session, guys. Good session.
Yeah, that was good.
To the viewers,
Enjoyed it.
thanks for joining us.
I'm drunk and got to dance. Hey, that's a
Yep.
good night.
So next Tuesday, we have our next session for any of you guys who have been watching of Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. Bax is in that one.
Hmm.
And then next week we'll be back this time again, 6 p.m. Central. On Tuesday, Odyssey of the Dragon Lord starts at 5 Central, 6 Eastern.
Does it, Dave?
But what's that?
Does it?
Shut up. You'll never get another inspiration back. Never. So I was late to last session because I thought it started at 6. Or had forgotten that it started earlier because one of the members has to leave early for work. So we start a bit early. But so
I'm just messing with you.
Tuesday, too late now. Don't start sucking up now. You've done it. But so next Tuesday at 5 Central, we will be doing Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, and then once again next week at on Thursday at 6, we'll be doing this again, Call from the Deep. So see you guys next time.
All right, have a good one.
See you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for the game.